Hey, Janet. I know you like what in the world? Hey, hey, hey. You the first one here, girl. Yeah, we got to talk about this. I know I'm not having a live chat on Friday this week, but I said, you know what? Let me jump in and have a conversation. Hey, Delmonica. Hey, Dewan. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Nicole. Yes, we got to talk about Bill and Poppy, and I wanted to chat with you guys about what the heck is going on with Zende, RJ, and Ridge. Oh my goodness. And so hopefully the notification will go out pretty quickly. Hey, Jenny. So we can jump into this right quick because I know I did a recap. But I just had to go live to have a conversation with you guys. So Janet said, looks like we can guess who her dad is. I know, right? I know. Hey, Alice. Melissa said, I bet Bill is Luna's dad. That's the same thing I said. I don't know if you guys caught that in my recap. Whether or not I said, I wonder if this guy is Luna's dad. So yeah, I wanted to try to see if I can get some folks in here. It's a few of you guys. I know I caught you off guard on a Monday. I usually go live during the week, like around 4 o'clock, but I had a few errands to run, and so I said when I get back, I was going to chat with you guys for a little bit. Janet, you said Zende looks strange? Really? Alice says, make you wonder, huh? I know. So, my question is, who is Bill to Poppy? Is this just somebody he ran into in the past? Is this somebody that he slept with? Now, remember, they kicked Wyatt off of the show. So, Darren Brooks is no longer over at The Bold and the Beautiful. So, the Wyatt character is no longer on the air. Is it possible that they could actually be pulling in Luna to be Bill's daughter, which means not only would she be Finn's sister, of course, through marriage or whatever, because, of course, Finn was adopted by Jack and Lee, but that's still Luna's cousin. She would also be Liam Spencer's sister, if that's the case. Crazy, right? I was just watching the recap. Yeah, Delmonica, I was talking about it. Shalom, Stella. Melissa says Zende was out of line. He kept going. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yes, I got my own opinion. I do have an opinion on that, but we'll talk about it in a minute. Not liking his haircut and look. Who, Janet? Who are you referring to? They treat Zende like Taylor. They barely show him. And the ones say Wyatt probably has a sister he doesn't know. Exactly. So it was interesting when he was pretty much having this whole conversation with Sheila Carter, right? Poppy was, she showed up at the door and immediately caught Bill's attention. Immediately. And so Bill could barely keep attention with Sheila, which, come on now, usually everybody, Sheila gets everybody attention. I mean, in this moment, Bill was so thrown off trying to figure out where he know her from that he just couldn't get his mind off of it. And Sheila was like, since you got the attention of other beautiful women, I got work to do. So she got up and left him at the table. So I'm wondering, and of course, this particular episode had to air, and we're coming up at the end of November sweeps, because I think the sweeps end on Wednesday. Okay, so we're at the end of November sweeps, which will obviously introduce a new storyline with Poppy in town. Now, remember the conversation that we had been having about Poppy and why Lee don't want her here. All we saw last week was Lee being upset because of, the fact that she couldn't have a child and how Poppy has so many friends and that she's always happy, right? So we were thinking, like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Um, that's all we got. That's all y'all gonna give us is the fact that Lee got some issues with her sister that's personal. So of course we were kind of let down last week because we was like, that's all there is. So now it looked like they're introducing another twist to Poppy, right? With Bill in the mix, which of course we haven't seen Bill Spencer. Don Diamond has been pretty much living his life. He's been doing a lot of Instagram reels and stuff. But obviously, if this is the case, that gives a new plot line or a storyline for Bill to get involved in, which would be cool. Janet, oh, you don't like Zende's look. Okay, so you don't like his short hair. Janet said, I like the Poppy actress. The one said Quinn hid from, exactly, sure did. Delmonica says questionable, yes. So I'm curious as maybe who's to say Lee don't know about this either. Just say if Bill is Luna's dad, could it be a possibility that nobody knows this, but well, Bill don't even know. He just thinks that she looks familiar. And if Poppy is the wild child like everybody thinks she is, she's out there hanging and doing her thing. And Bill gets around. I mean, he got 2 kids, well, 3 children by 3 different women. Katie, and of course, Liam's mom, and then Quinn. So who's to say? Add Poppy into the mix. Hey, Bree girl. You know what? I should have you come up so we can talk about this. Let me know I know you probably just got off work. Let me know if you want to come up and chat about it, okay? So drop a yes down there and we can chat. I don't know if you've seen the episode yet. So let me know, Bree. But yeah, this whole thing with Bill and Poppy has me interested now because I want to know what the connection is. So on the flip side, when he asked, don't you look familiar? Do I know you? Did you see Poppy's face? You say you forgot that he and Brooke would have had a child. Yeah, that's true. We got to add her in there as well. Stella, but Lee knows Bill. She would know if Bill was Luna's father. Unless she been keeping it a secret. So it's a lot of people walking around. Remember Maury Povich? Folks walking around thinking somebody is somebody's daddy and it wasn't the father. So she could have kept that the secret. Okay, I'll send you a link, Bree. I don't know if you saw the episode. Give me a hot second. And I will send you a link. Because I want to see what your thoughts are on this as well. Okay, hold on. Because this whole thing has me kind of excited. Because I like a different and new storyline. So I'm open to that. Right, friends, copy. Okay, I'm going to send you the link. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Check your IG where I normally send you the link, Bree. And I hope you're not driving, so be careful. Okay, so let me know when you pop. Well, it'll notify me when you pop in. But yeah, this thing got me really interested in the fact of who is Lee to Bill. Who is Lee to Bill? Drop in the comment section. Do you guys think that it's mainly is you think it's the Luna situation or something else? The one said, my mom watched Mario all the time. My cousin was on there. Oh my goodness, really? But yeah, I mean, to address that previous question, it's a possibility that, maybe she lied about who Luna's dad actually was and trying to keep the secret from coming out, especially now that she's running back into Bill. But this would be a game changer because we were all thinking about the fact that could it been could she been a Forrester, somebody else in the family of the Forresters. The one said this probably is going to be the death knell of Taylor and Bill's romance. Were they even going that direction? Yeah, he has like 16 kids. Oh my goodness, 16 kids, the one? That is crazy. Okay, Bree, I did send you the link, so hopefully you got it. Okay. Oh yeah, you got. Okay, you just seen the link. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm curious to find out what this is about. And her facial response says it all. She know exactly who Bill is, even though Bill. There you go, Bree. Hey, girl.
Hey everybody! Happy Monday. I'm so glad it's over with.
Girl, listen. Three down. I mean, one down and three to go. Two to go, depending on if you don't have to work on Friday.
Oh no, I'm off Thursday and Friday.
Yep, me too. Me too. Me too. Okay, so did you watch today's episode?
Yes, I usually watch an episode like 2 or 3 times, but I was able to watch it the first run through. Zende got some real
Okay, good.
camera
Hold on.
time.
I know. Hold on, cause I'm gonna touch on that in the second half of this, cause we're only gonna talk about Bill and Poppy and Zende. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, what do you think about this whole thing with Bill and Poppy, though? Do you think? Cause some folks in the comment section is thinking that it's possible that maybe Bill is Luna's dad. Do you kind of get that, or maybe something else?
I thought that. Well, I had a few thoughts. I'm like, Poppy, that look of shame. Like, girl, how many men in LA? But and I would assume that she would remember Bill Spencer of all people. And if Lee is painting Poppy out as to be this gold digger, she's out for these, affluent, men and this type of status, and she has no problem sleeping around with other men, then she would have been and said, "Hey, this is your daughter, Bill." She would
Mm-hmm.
have. She would have been and said that. So I it's hard for me to kind of lean that direction. I think maybe she had an encounter with Bill when he was like in a relationship with maybe like Brooke or like Katie, and
Mm-hmm.
she had like that look of shame. But I don't think that she's his. That's her. That that they're related. I don't think that.
Okay. Okay. So, do you think maybe they just had a night together or something?
I think since they keep bringing up this cheating thing with Lee and all of that at the hospital, I think that Poppy may have slept with Bill while he was married to either Katie or Brooke, and neither one didn't know. So I feel if they were to break off, like let's say Katie and Carter,
Mm-hmm.
and lean her back over to Bill, I can see maybe that popping up and saying like, oh, he and Poppy slept together while Katie and Bill were used to be married, and they start that back up again. I don't know. It opens a lot of doors for storyline opportunities. I just hope they don't mess it up this time.
Yeah, I don't know, girls. I mean, I kind of because okay, so let's think about it your way. Okay, where you said maybe it was just him. I mean, just him sleeping with Poppy while he was with those two ladies. Would that be that much of a twist now? Because okay, so Brooke is about to be immersed in the romance of Ridge. We're gonna get a whole episode on Wednesday about that. So I don't know if it will phase her. And as for Katie, she's kind of in the rapture of Carter. You know, she might not like the fact that
Lucky.
he did this during the time, but would that be such a hot plot line? Hey, Keish,
Hello.
Hey, Keish.
What's up?
we up here. We talking about Poppy and Bill.
Yet again, another woman he didn't slept with and don't remember.
He's a billionaire. He a billionaire. Okay, he's got options clearly.
Oh yeah, for sure. There, I saw some people talking about how does there's no way he won't remember her, and I'm like, do y'all realize that billionaire assholes at that sleep with however many women they want to, and they don't even ask for names. So it's not. I didn't think it was like weird or it didn't make sense or was uncommon. Like celebrity men always sleep with groupies, and they probably only know like two things about them, and that's what they look like naked.
And she had the walk of shame, that look of shame. So
She
you
did.
know, and I'm like, how many men in LA, girl? Like, if it would be hilarious if like this random man just popped up and this looked like Poppy and was like, oh hey, and it's just like the constant look of shame. Then it would kind of justify Lee's reason for trying to go after her sister the way she is.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But from the sounds of it, like from what how Luna described her, she just sounds like she's a free spirit. So
Mm-hmm.
You know about free spirits.
Yeah, girls, that's what exactly what it sounds like. Now, what do you think, Keish? Do you think that Luna could be Bill's daughter? Because Bree had a different perspective, and if you want to kind of catch her up, Bree, tell her what your perspective was.
It's hard for me to believe that Bill is her dad, only because like I have to think of it also the time frame between Liam, Wyatt, and Will. Because I look at the age of like Luna, she has to be in between Will's age and Wyatt's age somewhere. So I'm thinking that Bill is a big name, and if the writers are writing Poppy as being this woman who's after somebody's man, after somebody's money, and a gold digger, then she would have been and said that was Luna's dad,
yeah,
and she would have secured the bag completely right then. But the look on her face, it looked like the look of shame. So I thought maybe she had like her and Bill maybe had slept together while he was married to either Katie or Brooke, and neither of them didn't know about it. And I can see how that can be detrimental to like the Force versus the Logan somehow. I don't know. I just don't think that he's the father though.
Now, what is
that
your?
would
Go ahead, Keish.
that would make sense as to why. So if Lee knows this, then it would make sense as to why Lee doesn't want her around. Because right
Exactly.
now, the whole story about you slept with the chief of staff and you made me look bad. Like the anger that she has towards her and also towards Luna just doesn't make sense with that story. I'm like, there has to be way more to this that they just haven't told us yet. Because if this is it, then that was a dud. So
Exactly.
it would make sense um, as to why she just like wants her gone and doesn't want her around.
So some folks were saying that Lee, I don't know, that Lee is, if this is Luna, if Bill is Luna's dad, Lee knows about it. But we didn't get
Mm-hmm.
that type of backstory. We got last week because we were talking about it on Friday night. All we got last week was Lee talking about how she envied Poppy for being able to carry a biological child to term,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that she's always happy and all of that stuff. It was never about the fact that you can't be here because Bill Spencer is around or something. Do you know what I mean? So this kind of
Yeah.
came out of left field today to me.
I think they have purposely been like kind of, I don't know if secretive is the word, but it's almost like they've been purposely avoiding the direct issue. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's because they just wanted to be this huge surprise or if they were just trying to figure out how they were going to build the story. But I think they did that on purpose, trying to throw us off.
Me too. And this is what I was saying the other night. I think since we have the permanent writers coming back, I think they're just trying to they created like gel storyline. So they kind of gave us a little bit to kind of go off on until the permanent writers came back. So
Mhm.
gives the permanent writers something to kind of work with and really kind of dive deep into the storylines that's already started, or they can axe it and say like, hey, it's non-existent, which I think those kisses between Liam and Steffi is going to be axed. I don't think they haven't revisited. We haven't seen like any look back, to that happening. So I think that's where the permanent staff is going to kind of come in and see what's going to work and what's not. So they might just be Kim testing a Poppy and Bill at this point. So we don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
at first, when they started hinting about there being some type of secret or something that Poppy had, I'm like, there's no way that Luna is going to be Bill's kid. Like, he's already had two surprise kids pop up. They're not going to do it again. However, I'm kind of for it because of the added bonus of this would have been, if this comes out, then now Katie knows, or like you said, Brooke, whoever he was married to at the time, that he cheated on one of them and got somebody pregnant. So
But the
that,
time frame, though, because how old would Will be technically now? Well, let me see this because I remember from I think last year. I think
mhm.
they said that Liam was 35. I think they did like that 10-year fast forward because they said when he met Hope, he was 25 years old and she was 18. So 10 years fast forward, he would technically be 35. I think Wyatt would be like a couple years younger than that, and then Will would be a teenager by now, right?
I would
So
think so. Yeah.
I don't think Will would even be a teen if they go by like the year that he was actually born. I'm not sure he
Well,
would be a
remember, Will
teenager.
is much older than what's that baby girl that they saw to age 8? Was that
Beth.
oh,
Beth?
Beth, yeah,
Right. So if Beth is 8, Will gotta be like
a
14.
teenage. No, Douglas should be technically 14, 15, and then
Yeah, they have to take a shit.
Will should be like in high school by now. So when would he have found time to create Luna? Because technically he would be had married Katie or Brooke around the time. So unless he had an affair, that's the only connection I can really see between him and Poppy, and it was just a walk
Yeah.
of shame. I don't see him creating another child in between that time frame.
Yeah, I'm
That's why
excited.
I'm saying though
Mhm.
that would be a good piece of added drama, because if it is supposed to be he had an affair, which most likely would be on Katie, um, that would be a good reason as to why Lee doesn't want her around. And with these ages, they make up whatever, because RJ is technically supposed to be what, like 3 years younger than Hope, and
Right.
Yeah,
it looks like she's got about 10 years on him.
Yeah, that's true. Cause then if you're saying that Hope was 18 at the time when Liam was 25, if you add 10 years, she should be 28, which would put RJ at what, 25?
right. Which he looks 25, 26 anyway. And that would make like Hope like closer to her 30s. And if you think about Thomas is older than all of them. So
Yep.
Thomas would technically be closer to his 40s because Hope was about 10 years old when Thomas was an adult already.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
because I watched a lot of old seasons. Hope was about 10 years old, and I think Thomas had just either graduated college. He was working as a designer around that time, and of course they soror'd her.
Okay.
It was the actor before Adam Gregory took over as Thomas.
Right.
Okay. With the
When
dark
Hope was
hair,
still.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting. I'm actually excited about this. When I saw that, I'm like, ooh, we got a new storyline coming. And then we'll get a lot more Bill back on screen, away from Brooke, away from Katie, and then away from Sheila. Because now
Yeah.
it puts him in this whole new storyline with Poppy, Lee, and Luna. which that would be interesting. Now, remember, they tried to chem test him and Lee at one point,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't go anywhere. So,
I mean, maybe they just need to. I mean, they just have to revisit that.
mm-hmm.
I think it's still possible. They seem like they had pretty decent chemistry. I'm curious to see what Bill and Poppy's chemistry is like, and maybe that might be a love triangle. Ugh. But only because I'm so sick of love triangles. But
Yeah.
You know,
I
that's
don't
the
know.
bread and butter on soaps, though.
Yeah, I know. But this could be interesting. I just need some closure on what happened with her and Jack. Are they divorced? Is she?
Right.
There's, I don't know. I guess they're really trying to work with the storylines for these new characters, especially since they're in the credits.
Yeah, I hate how Finn's dad just disappeared.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, he came up when Sheila was in jail when she tried to get him to be her attorney or
yeah,
whatever, and that was the last time we seen him.
yeah,
And he had a lot of explaining to do. I was hoping for like extra storyline about this, like what made you want to sleep with Sheila,
Ooh,
I mean, and then have your wife sign adoption papers knowing that was Sheila's baby.
right.
I needed storyline. I needed Finn to like really get on his dad, get angry because he screwed up his life essentially.
yeah,
I feel like Finn and his dad's relationship never really. I don't think it's at the level where like I never want to talk to you again, but
There was no
it was
closure.
like, yeah, and it was like after that news came out about Sheila, like he did, you know, get on his dad, and it was almost as if he accepted he accepted Sheila at one point more than he would talk to his own dad, even
mm-hmm,
after the stuff that Sheila did to him.
I mean, we at least seen him hug Sheila. We don't
Exactly.
know. We don't know if he even talks to his dad. Does his dad even talk to his grandchildren? Does he have a relationship with Steffi? Like, there's
Nothing there.
the writers need to bring on Finn's family. If they're bringing on the mother, the sister, the auntie, everybody, bring
Yeah.
the dad because there's a lot of questions between that. And also, I want to see like the interaction between him and Sheila because he had no problem sleeping with her at one point. Could they rekindle that? I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. That's all I'm saying. Writers, if
yeah.
you're listening,
I
They
just
would have to they'd have to recast because I think didn't Ted King get picked up on one of the other soaps
I think
or
so.
something?
Hey, I gotta
and
say this right quick. Melissa Spencer says that there are pictures of a 16 or 17-year-old Thomas holding a 3-year-old Hope in the arms from years ago on the show.
There is.
So
yeah,
you talking a good 13, 14-year difference. So if
Yeah.
she's 28, that'll make Thomas what, 42?
like 41, 42, that makes sense. Especially since we haven't seen him with another woman in 12 years. So, yeah, so it was time. He was the 40-year-old version by the time he was like, oh,
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm excited to find out. They better not drop the ball with this one. Better not be some corny doesn't make sense type of plot line or something.
I know. She know they good for doing that
They good
mess.
at doing that. We be getting all excited and the next thing's like wah wah. And it's like, are you
Right.
serious?
because so far with this storyline between Lee and Poppy, that's how it's feeling womp womp.
Right.
But with
Exactly.
with the permanent writing staff, I think they can really turn this around. I don't really see much happening between now and the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's gonna be like a lot of holiday stuff that's gonna be focused more on Eric. But I'm hoping after the New Year's they can really beef up these storylines leading up to February sweeps. And then, then let's really see what's going on with Bill, Lee, and Poppy, if that's a love storyline, or he might try to crawl back to Katie. He loves to crawl back to his women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got to move it on because we got to talk about this one right here. That with Zende and Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
Zen,
Keith. This one, uh-huh.
Zende said today what a lot of us have been saying about RJ. So let me start by saying this. The only thing I don't like about this is that we all know what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and Zende doesn't. So right now, like, I feel like this is making him look bad
Right.
because his grandfather is dying, and it just seems as if he's complaining about himself, like him not being taken care of, and who's looking out for me, and I'm not getting what I want, and you guys are all just handing everything over to RJ while
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is like concerned about Eric. However, even after that comes out, that's not his fault. This is all of this crap that's going on is because of Eric, and because he's too
Exactly.
arrogant to tell his family what's going on. So now everybody's tiptoeing around him. Everybody's lying to make sure that he's protected, and in doing that, they're leaving Zende out of the loop. And my thing is, you were calling Kristen, you were calling his mom to tell her. So why would you just not tell Zende? Like, why are
It,
you still making that decision to not tell him what's going on?
with his own granddad, and
Yeah.
you know what's funny, as much control as Ridge has, Zindy's more of a Forrester than Ridge is, technically speaking, because Kristen is Eric's real daughter. That's his granddaddy.
Yeah, but I mean,
But here's the thing, and the thing is, Ridge always has a pecking order when it comes to his kids, particularly his daughter. His daughter will always rank top amongst all them other kids, and then and RJ will come second. Anything that he has with Brooke will always come towards the top as well. Ridge will always put his kids before anybody. So I feel like anything that Zindy said is going to go through one ear out the other, because
yeah.
he ain't his kids. He's not. Zende is partially family to him, and you see how Ridge treats majority of his family members, same way Brooke treats majority of the family members the same
Yeah.
way.
I mean, heck, Rich treats his own brother like that. That's
Yep,
how Thorne was. Thorne was always the outsider.
exactly.
Well, you said something
I've never.
interesting earlier, Keish, when we was texting in the messenger chat about hope in this situation.
Oh yeah, because they had that whole scene of the Logan sisters telling Hope about Eric, and it's like Hope. I know Eric loves her because she's family or whatever. She's Brooke's daughter, but those two barely have any scenes together. You don't hear her talk about Eric. They don't have, like, how close Steffi is with her grandfather. You know how close Thomas is with Eric, and how much they look up to him. You don't hear that on Hope's side of things. So having a scene dedicated to her with her aunts and her sisters telling her, or her mom telling her about what's going on with Eric, just made no sense to me. What I was saying was that scene should have either been Zende, or Zende should have been in the scene with Thomas and Steffi when they found out. I don't
I
understand why they're keeping this from him.
I completely agree. That's what I said
Yep.
Friday, because it made no sense why they made that a big deal, because I can see like Hope and Stephanie, because at least they had interaction. They actually had a couple of storylines, and they had that closeness. I cannot think of a time where Hope and Eric had a close storyline.
Exactly.
The only thing I can think of is like him designing for her for Hope for the future, and that didn't go so well. And we only saw like a
Yeah.
couple of episodes of that. That's
Yep.
it.
Yep. That's the part. I'm like, why didn't they just tell that boy what was going on? I mean,
Right.
everybody around him, except for Paris, knows what's going on with Eric. I mean, the Logan sisters, Hope, Steffi. The other person has been left out of
Luna,
this too. Luna even knows. Exactly. And there's another person that's been left out of this too, and that's Taylor.
Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carter too. Yeah,
I don't.
so.
I didn't expect them to tell Carter.
Oh, you
I mean,
didn't?
but he could have let Eric know that he didn't win. And I'm like, that's why I'm like, Ridge, why are you just, you should tell your right hand about what's going on. Because he could easily blurt that out, or Eric could get a hold of like sales figures or something. I mean, he helps run that company. So that I don't understand like why only a certain amount of people know. Majority of that building knows, but you're keeping Carter out the loop. You're keeping Thomas and Steffi's mother out the loop. You're in. I don't know. I'm
Yeah, I mean, because my thing is, if Katie can know,
right.
why not Taylor?
And Luna.
And
And
yeah, Luna knows too.
pretty much
Luna,
a complete stranger to that family who has only been there for a couple months knows about this.
right?
You guys may as well tell Zende. And I
And
was so annoyed. Like, I know you guys probably talked about it in the show Friday, but I was so annoyed at the scene where um, Brooke was in there with. I don't care if she was in there or not. I just thought that it didn't make sense to not have Taylor in there with them because Brooke is not a support system for them.
Oh yes. Oh,
mm-hmm.
we
She don't
don't
like
want
them
them.
kids, and they don't like her. So why are you there?
Right.
Even if even if Taylor wasn't going to be in the scene, why was Brooke in the scene at all? You know what I mean? It looked awkward her being there. Even when they all went in to hug each other, Brooke looked like the outsider, and all she was doing was hugging Ridge. She was on his back. She didn't go around and hug Steffi and Thomas. So
Exactly.
if you can't comfort them, you know, like someone should, or be genuine about it, which I never find her to be genuine when it comes to Steffi or Thomas in any kind of like sad situation like this or something where they would for real need some type of support or comfort. It just doesn't come off as genuine. Like, why don't need to be there? And people on Instagram were talking about, well, she's there to support her husband and blah blah blah, and it's like this isn't about Ridge. Ridge already knows, and she's been supporting him. Like, this was about Steffi and Thomas finding out. So her being there, it added nothing.
Well said. I completely agree with that. And did you see towards the end where Ridge like pushed her off out of the hug?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you on that too, Keish. Because my thing is that should have been a private moment between Ridge and his kids.
Yeah,
Even if they wasn't gonna bring Taylor in there, which they should
right.
have. But I mean, for Brooke to be standing there and she's like, oh, and I mean, there's no consolation for them. Like you say, she was hugging on Ridge pretty much. It's like,
Right.
really, really.
Yeah. So that was pointless to me, and it was just unnecessary. Like, just have her step out of this scene. Like, who made that call, and why did y'all really feel like she needed to be there?
And they could have written Taylor in her place because those are her kids. She's a therapist. Her kids are
Yeah,
going to be grieving.
exactly.
That
And
that
and those same people that were saying like she's got kids with Eric, and her and Eric are close and blah blah blah. And it's like, again, this isn't about Brooke. This has nothing to do with Brooke right now. And I'm sure those same people will probably be saying what we're saying about Taylor should have been there if it was switched and RJ was the one being told and Thomas and Steffi already knew. Like how, and let's say that Ridge was married to Taylor. Like, how goofy would that look that it was Taylor and Ridge telling RJ about this and his mom not being there.
right.
I would say the same thing. And even in that case, Taylor doesn't even have like a contentious relationship with RJ. And she's a therapist, so she could be there as professional support. So she would have some type of reason, you know what I mean? It would make some kind of sense. Whereas Brooke being there was it just felt like she wanted to be um, in the business or something, or like be a part of something that she knows that she ain't got no business being a part of or don't need to be a part of.
Brooke is a house plant.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know why it's there, but it's there. It looks cute. It has like a nice decorate. It's a great decorative part of the office because that's really all she serves when she works at Forrester. We don't know what she does. We just know she comes out in really some cute outfits. I got to give it to her. But at the same time, we know that you like to hug up on Ridge. You look at a design or two, but once again, you have no purpose. Just same way Taylor has no purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
Brooke is just a house plant, and it was just a house plant and a scene. That's all I can take it as.
Yeah.
I've been asking for a while now. What does Brooke do at Forrester now? Like, what is her role there?
To not allow something.
Mm-hmm.
I will not allow
I
her
would not
exit.
allow.
Allow it.
So now we got to talk about because Zende went off on RJ when he came back, and I'm on, I RJ wanted to tell him. Ridge was like, no, 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 we can't do that
Yeah.
because my dad said so. Okay, but you let Luna slide, you let Hope slide, you let all these
Yep.
other folks slide, but you can't tell Zende. I
Right.
just,
And
mm-mm.
he's the actual grandson.
And
That
what does Zende say? That's my grandfather too. And just cause my mother ain't here doesn't mean blah 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 blah. I was like, you go, boy. I wasn't
right?
mad. I said, go ahead and let him have it. And then
Yeah. Okay.
when he leaves, Ridge was telling RJ, oh, don't let him get to you. What?
As if it's not, as if it's illogical for him or irrational for him to be as upset as he is about what's going on.
Girl. Mm-mm. I,
He's treating it as if Zende is aware that Eric is dying, and it's like he doesn't even know what's happening. And from his standpoint, all he sees is another one of your kids. I won't say that Steffi and Thomas were handed anything. They actually worked for their roles and positions. But I mean, Hope, for instance, Hope is one that she was handed that line and she did nothing for it. Um, and Ridge's kids are favored. So, like, looking at it from his point of view, I don't see how they couldn't understand why Zende is as upset as he is.
Yeah, I mean, he have every right to be upset. And then the thing is, like RJ said, when he actually finds out what's happening, he's gonna feel bad. He's gonna he made a fool out of himself.
Yeah,
Well, let me just say this. I want to just clap. We got we got Zende out them credits, y'all. And he
I
got
know.
a real story. And the thing is, this is a really great storyline. I've wanted more of Foresters really trying to fight for their place and fight for their right. Because all we see, you know, that they talk about is Steffi and Thomas and Hope and like everyone else when we know that Eric and Stephanie had other children and
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
they deserve to have the opportunity to be president or CEO or COO or whatever the case is. And there's plenty of designers who deserve their shine, just like Zende, just like Thomas, and just like RJ. So I was happy to see that we need more of the family members kind of putting their foot down and trying to fight for their place because there's more of them out there. Where's Rick?
Mm-hmm.
Rick should have been back. There's been
Yeah.
plenty of opportunities for storylines, especially the thing that with Hope and Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
and because Thomas and Rick used to go at it, and it was so good to see. I wish they brought that back, but
Yeah. Rick also hated Liam too.
yep, that too. And so it is. We need more of the Forrester characters back, and I was glad to see Zende put his foot down, get out the credits, and try to fight for his place. So we're definitely going to see, I guess, another love triangle between Zende, Luna, and RJ. Because I'm hoping they bring back Bad Boy Zende. If this is what they're bringing back, or kind of foreshadowing, then I'm here for it.
Me
Mm-hmm.
too. And I would never like the type of personality so far that the actor that plays Zende is portrayed. I never would have seen him as a character that could get angry the way he did today, and he
Mm-hmm.
actually did very well in that scene. So,
Yeah, he
I'm,
did. And his facial reactions too.
yep,
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see him give them more of what he did today. And I hope, like, I don't think it'll happen this way, but I feel like even after he finds out, he still has a right to be angry, and I hope he cusses everybody out.
Well, it ain't over because tomorrow, according to the spoilers, he's going to take actions on something. So Because he already said on his way out of that office that he's going to do something about it. Now, I'm wondering if he's going to confront. What does that mean? He's going to confront Eric, or is he going to do something else?
I mean, to me, confronting Eric would be the logical next step.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Maybe he'll do something sneaky, or I don't know. But this whole thing with Eric's line, with the couture line, is affecting their budget. It's going to affect Hope for the future. So
It
Hope and
already
Thomas,
did. They said it's benched.
yeah. So Hope and Thomas are going to be pissed.
Mm.
Oh, they'll work it out. I'm sure
Yeah,
they'll
tomorrow's.
bide their time.
Yeah, tomorrow for them, they're going to present some type of um, what they say, that some type of presentation or something to Ridge about the line. So, like you said, they'll figure it out.
I don't know. I can see this being a another lane of a storyline
Mm-hmm.
of them being bitter about how the funding has been because of Eric's stupid idea. Eric
Oh,
Eric once again hurting the company for his own ego.
What are you
Because
about to
it's
say? Because you
so
kind of gasp.
yeah, I had an idea. Writers, we know you're listening. This would be a great opportunity to have Hope and Thomas start their own fashion house. And I
mm-hmm.
can see Zende going over there because let's say they didn't get the funding, they're not getting the respect. And of course, Hope is battling with her mom every day about Thomas since they're going to be official couple. So there's like, we made enough money. We're going to take Hope for the future, fight for the right or the trademark of the line and sort of, their own fashion house. I think,
Yeah.
and then rival Forrester, since they're without a rival and as a fashion show, or a fashion based a company, I can see them going that direction. So writers, we know you listen. We've seen the improvements. I'm so happy about it. But this would be a great opportunity, a great opening, or have Zende go work for someone else and bring some fresh characters in, and he could be the lead designer for the fashion house, rivaling Forrester since he knows the blueprint of how you guys design. That plenty of opportunity for storyline, but that's just all.
I would like,
Yeah.
you know what? I can honestly go down that road with you on that one. I like that one.
Yeah. I could see Thomas and Hope possibly doing that.
You know, Brooke will have
I,
a fit though.
oh, of course she would. And that's the best part about it.
And I
anything that anything to spite Brooke, I'm for it.
Yes, I honestly feel that Hope would get to a point tired of like arguing with her mom and she's like, you know what, I'm taking the line and I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna quit, and they start a whole fashion house. It would be great if they took over that old Spectra building. I hope they are able to create that set. But
I thought Bill
great.
blew it up.
Well, the buildings magically get, properly built and with the right amount of money. Plus, it's a billionaire. I'm sure he'll have it. It will magically appear. But it would be awesome and something fresh, and it would be
Yeah.
nice to kind of see Brooke and Hope kind of go at odds because for
That's
well
what
over a decade.
Yes, I have been wanting that to happen for so long because they're so opposite. And we've never really, for real, seen Hope call her mom out. She has here and there recently, but years leading up to that, she's never really truly called her out the way Bridget used to. And that's what I've been waiting for from Hope.
Well, both Hope and Bridget kind of they did their mom the same way. Like they're mad for a little bit and then oh mom, you're it's okay. You are who you are. I love you. They quickly forgive her. So Brooke almost never really learned. She
Mm-hmm.
never learned her lesson. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think Bridget was the only one who really kind of punished her for a little while, only because Stephanie was really in her ear about it. But then, of course, Bridget forgave her
Yeah.
for the first time. But this is a great opportunity for them. I really hope they run with that type of story.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that.
I want to know what your.
Also,
Hey, Keish, you weren't here on Friday. And I know we have been talking about having Hope take a stand about her relationship with Thomas. So, did they do exactly as good as you wanted it to be on Friday?
I thoroughly enjoyed that episode.
Which part, girl? Because there were several parts.
I
There
think
was.
from the moment Liam came to the door and Hope tried to close the door in his face, I fell out laughing. I'm like, oh, Hope ain't playing with him anymore. But then it was just how judgy he was being. Like, what are you wearing? As if you would have thought Hope had on a G string and was topless or something, or
Oh, she
pasties.
will
I'm
now.
like, but he was just he was just so like, I don't know. Liam just felt very like condescending, just really talking down on her. I felt like in
I
that scene,
think he
trying to make
was
her.
really intrusive too because he was asking her,
Oh
"Are you
yeah,
using birth control?"
yeah. Like, sir, you got two women pregnant within the span of a few
Ooh,
months.
ooh.
You can't talk to nobody about birth control.
No, he sure can. He sure can.
You can't talk to anybody about birth. That is none of your business. The only thing that I wish that one of them would have mentioned was somebody filing those divorce papers.
I
Like, when
think
is
that's going to come back up. I
you
really
think
truly
so?
do. Oh yeah, because now that Liam knows what's going on, and if she wants, because remember she's talking about I'm thinking about having a baby, and maybe I can. We go in a relationship, and I love him for this and that. If they
Yeah.
progress and they want to move to that extra level of actually getting married or something, that's going to be the thing to stop. Now the thing is, they both signed it, but who's filing it?
The last I heard, I think Liam had him in his car.
Uh-huh. So, and I'm thinking that's probably where they're going to try to go from if they decide to have him hold that marriage hostage.
But
Oh,
here's my thing about that. If he's actively trying to get Steffi to break up with Finn, him hanging on to a marriage with Hope just to keep her from progressing with Thomas ain't gonna do him any favors. So either they're gonna drop the whole thing. Steffi is gonna completely like, this isn't happening. You need to go away, or um,
Well, okay, can I throw something out there, Keish? Look, so just say, because we've been talking about this for the last month and a half, and I know you want him to go villain and go dark, right?
yes,
He could really sabotage both relationships if he want to. He got in one hand two sets of kisses, and then he got that divorce paper in the other hand. If he want to piss off Fan, he could drop those two kisses. Now, that doesn't mean Steffi probably don't want to go nowhere. She be begging and pleading. But if Finn is like, look, I went through this with your ex before. I'm not doing this again. That could sabotage that relationship. On the flip side, he can also destroy what Thomas and Hope have by holding that marriage hostage. If he says, well, I'm not filing divorce papers. You're still legally married to me, which they are. He can't do nothing about that because, of course, you can't marry more than one person. It's illegal. So, if he go dark, he could use those two things as some of his ammunition to both relationships.
so I don't think he'll hold the marriage hostage, because again, if his goal is to get Steffi, that's not going to help him. But I think what he could possibly do is threaten to take Beth from her, because Thomas is dangerous, quote unquote.
Now,
The
just
writers want
let's
us to
go
the
back to
writers
what you
want us
just
to the
let's go
writers
back
want us
to
to
what you
forget
was
that.
let's go back to what you just said about the part with with Steffi. That wouldn't do anything with regard to go well with Steffi. I don't think he would care as long as it broke up the relationship. He might just want to
Yeah, but I'm
lob a
saying,
grenade into it.
so then the whole supposed triangle between Steffi, Liam, and Finn, is that wouldn't go anywhere, because Steffi is going to be like, you're holding on to your marriage, but you're also trying to chase me. You absolutely haven't changed, so all the more reason why I want to stay with my husband. So you can skedaddle on over there with Hope and figure this whole thing out between her and Thomas, but leave me out of it. So that like that pretty much halts that would halt that storyline from progressing anywhere. So they have to
I
take one path or another. I personally, I think it's going to be a custody war at some point,
Probably. I agree with that in regards to Beth.
which still doesn't win him any favor with Steffi because he's in the process of doing that. You're bashing her brother, calling her brother
exactly.
dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they just need to ultimately this just needs to be Liam being a villain on both sides of the house to everybody, and like Hope and Steffi are basically fighting against Liam and his shenanigans.
What you got, Bree?
I was really trying to think while you guys were talking because I had an idea, and then when Keisha was bringing up, he wouldn't want to try to mess things up with trying to get with Steffi by holding on to that marriage, but I can see Liam being a very petty
Mm-hmm.
villain because two women who was all for him decided to leave him. That's going to take a huge hit to his ego. So I think he's going to be
Mm-hmm.
on a full on ego trip to try to fill that void. I don't really see him crying over Hope like that. Yes, there were tears. I think it's the fact that that girl that was chasing him, I think that girl is gone. He can't go back to that. This is a whole other woman, a whole other standard, and it's the same thing with Steffi. So I feel like this is putting him in his place, and rightfully so, but it's also kind of forcing him to grow up. And with a lot of people who are bitter and petty and used to getting what they stuff handed to them on their lap, like Steffi back in the day, it's going to be a huge hit to his ego. So I feel he's going to be an egomaniac, and maybe his father is going to see a lot of that in him. Because I think Bill was the same way and why he was so evil. Because I remember him talking with Katie back a while back about
Mm-hmm.
why he was so like doesn't care for relationships or care for anything, to that effect because he was easily hurt. He put so much into it. He was so used to getting that attention that it would, when it was taken from him, he went to a dark place. I can see Bill looking at Liam and seeing a lot of himself and just going on a complete ego trip. I can see him wanting to try to run and take over Spencer Publications, anything to fill the void because Hope is already comfortable with the fact that Thomas putting a baby in her, however you want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she has no problem with Thomas putting a baby in her in that cabin. So there's nothing for Liam to come back to at that point.
Oh, not the cabin. Just
Mm-hmm.
Thomas,
I know there was a purpose of them being in the cabin on Friday, but I hope that's the last time we see that. I hate that set. I don't. What happened to Thomas's house? We haven't
they
seen that for a while.
I think that might happen if they're making Hope and Thomas a full on couple. Brooke is going to try to prevent Thomas from coming to the house. I think we said this a while back too.
Yeah.
So it would make sense for Hope to move and move in with
Oh
Thomas.
my god, I would love it. Brooke would have a fit
Yeah, because
in it.
you got to believe that Liam is gonna have a conversation with Brooke coming up soon about what he witnessed. That's just how
Yes.
he is, and they probably are gonna try to come together to figure out a way to break them up or cause problems. Especially when Liam says that she want to have a baby by this man and that she loves him. Brooke is going to
Oof.
lose it.
Now I do still need I need her to say the actual words I love you and I'm in love with you. Like I do want to hear that, but I like that she said what she said in front of Liam. Because to me, I love you for it isn't the same
That's
as
true.
I'm in love with you. So I do still want to hear that from Hope. But I what I'm happy about is that she didn't try to hide her relationship with Thomas. Because when she said, "I just want to enjoy my evening with Thomas," to Liam when he walked in the house with his little judgments and stuff, I almost fell out of my seat.
He was.
And the fact that she had Brooke bring her some candles up to
Oh,
the cabin.
Right.
I'm like, get it, girl. I was so proud of. I'm so proud of Hope. That was a good week for Hope.
Yes,
But yeah, he about to redecorate that entire cabin.
Mm-mm. You right about that, girl. Please.
Rearrange some furniture. Rearrange. Open up some blinds. Everything.
that cabin has to be the worst set on both.
I know, right? I
But they've
mean,
always had that cabin. They've had it for a long
Yeah,
while.
yeah, because
yeah,
it's sitting on Brooke's property. She had that since forever.
yeah.
Because
So
Steffi and Liam were getting it in on that cabin too
I
before
know.
Hope
That's
did.
why I wish, like Keish said, going back to his house. That couch got the memories of Liam on it.
I mean, was it really memories worth having? Maybe that's why she was like, I want to paint new memories, something worth.
You stupid.
Apparently so.
Maybe so. So, man, I just
And
wanted
also,
to. Go
wait. When
ahead.
Thomas walked in and
Hmm.
Liam was like, he was like, "What are you doing here?" Never thought I'd see the day that would happen. But
Ooh,
also, when Liam was like, "My kid lives here," and he was like, "Your kid is at Katie's house."
I was rolling. I was cracking.
Wait a minute.
Like,
And then he comes up in there and said, Hope, are you okay? And Liam was like, as if I'm going to do something to her. Again, are you okay, Hope?
uh,
Oh, man, that was great. Oh, my
I
goodness.
have been wanting Liam to just be handed a face full of egg for years now, because that character has never ever really been punished for anything. Like his little affairs and back and forth with Steffi and Hope, it's always been a like the girls are mad at him for a scene or two, and then they turn on each other, and Liam is forgiven. So he's never ever really been in the hot seat for anything, and I need him to spend a good amount of time, just like they did to my boy Thomas. From the time that he came
Mhm.
back in 2019, they just destroyed that character left and right with all the stuff that they had him doing. Um, I need them to do Liam the same way for once.
I agree. Let him be without a woman for 12 years. Let
Right.
Thomas have his shine and go back and forth between woman for woman. But I am hoping that there's so much they can do with Liam's character.
Oh
And
yeah.
there was something I was reading online, and I think they might bring up the stuff about his mom because we don't really know too much about Liam's background. And I actually was going to do like an audio about this. It's we don't know too much about his background. For all we know, he could have a twin. He could have been robbing banks. He could have been doing a lot of things before he came to Forrester.
Yeah.
There's so much things, and plus him losing his mom and him trying to fill a void with a woman, that could also be like a storyline arc for him to go through. It's there's so much room for it, but
Yeah.
I agree it's time to get rid of that cabin set.
Yeah.
But let Thomas redecorate first. Let's see that, and let Brooke walk into the cabin when that happens, please.
Girl, shoot, that would be crazy. Man. All right, you guys. I only wanted to be on here for an hour. I'm glad, Keish, you got the opportunity because you wasn't here on Friday. So you
Yes.
got
Thank you
to
for
say your
having me.
2 cents.
I did. I did.
And Bree, thanks for coming up too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was so happy to talk about this. I was so happy for Zende.
Me
Uh,
too.
one more quick thing, Keisha. Did you see the little cheeks at the end of the episode
The what?
when Thomas lifted up Hope's
Yes.
throat?
Oh my God. Yes, I did. I did see that. I I wasn't gonna. Like, I saw it, but like,
I brought it up
do I
Friday.
ask other people if they saw that, or am I weird that I noticed that?
No, that caught me off guard, and I seen the episode like a couple times. Like, oh my god, and it catches me off every time. But I was
Yes, I
Wow.
did. I noticed that.
so funny.
That is crazy. All right, you guys got big
Uh,
plans for this week?
Other than Thanksgiving, no.
No. Okay. Any
Yeah.
shopping?
I usually do my Christmas shopping in the summer because
Oh,
the
you
deals.
done then?
Yeah,
Go ahead
Well,
on
good
with
for
your
you.
bad self.
I
I
usually
stress
the
out every year.
the good deals, like all the Christmas ornaments, all of this is usually always during the summer. They usually have that out like in August, and they'll do like different deals depending on where you go. And yeah, I already took care of that.
Oh, cool. Any of you guys traveling?
No,
No,
I'm staying home.
Oh, you staying
no,
home?
in Orlando.
Yeah, okay. Y'all got good
My
weather
travel.
down there, don't you? Because it's like 47 degrees here.
It is hot outside.
Oh,
I
my
don't want to
goodness.
say that. I'm sorry, but this
Oh,
we it doesn't get cold in like Florida until like maybe towards the end of December, and then it'll go all the way to like maybe early February, and that's it. That's the winter
What
that
is
we have.
what is cold for you?
A cold would drop down to like maybe 40, 50.
psh,
Oh,
I
oh my
wish.
goodness.
In January, February, girl, please. I take that any day.
Right.
Oh,
And
man.
it's usually cold in the morning, and then in the afternoon it can turn hot. So it's Florida weather is weird like that.
Mm,
Oof. Okay. Well, you guys have a good, safe holiday. Anybody cooking?
Yes, I
yeah,
am.
You still got
I
that
am.
cough, Keish?
It's not as bad as it was last week, but it's
Okay.
still there a little bit.
Okay.
It's
Gotcha.
like one of those things where the moment something tickles my throat, it just triggers it, and I cough for a little bit, but it's not as often as it has been.
Oh, yeah. Y'all got to get ready for the Young and the Restless episode tomorrow. Oh, my goodness.
Why? What's supposed to happen?
Oh,
Claire is back in Genoa City and freak out
Oh,
the Newmans, and so the Newmans are all scurrying trying to get to save Nikki, but they're walking into a trap.
I need to
mm.
watch today's episode.
Oh, you didn't watch today's episode?
I've only watched
Well,
moments on.
there was no Nikki or Claire stuff today. It was all about Abbott's and stuff. Abbott's and
Oh,
Tucker, and
Tucker and yeah.
it was a good
okay.
episode though.
Yeah, it wasn't too
Okay.
shabby. But tomorrow, I mean, honestly, this is one diabolical plan. I mean, sheesh. And I mean the guy that they brought back from Nikki's past by the name of Cole.
And
Yeah,
I had
he's
this name, and
gonna
that
be
looks familiar.
well, he was married to Victoria way back in the
Yeah.
day.
Oh
And
my
so he's
gosh.
gonna come up in there and gaslight the heck. Oh, God. Spoiler alert. He's gonna come out there and gaslight the heck out of Nikki, talking about Victoria sent me here. She's drinking herself into oblivion tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for this tomorrow's episode. Oh my
Yeah, that is
goodness.
crazy. I mean, the end of November sweeps is Wednesday, so they trying to get it in. I think that's why they throwing in this Bill and Poppy's plot, and now they got Zende, telling RJ and Ridge off, and then we got this whole thing with Claire. Claire is and it's Claire Jordan and that Cole dude. They all working together to take them Newmans in. The only person I think that can get them out of this is probably Adam.
I thought you were about to say Abby. I was like, oh.
No, Adam. Abby is to me. She's a Newman in theory only. We've only seen her around Abbott's.
Right.
Exactly.
She's a Newman. Yeah, Victor is her father, but she's never in that whole. Well, lately she hasn't been. When she got that restaurant, she separated herself. You're like, shoot, I'm done.
It was
Don't
probably the
ask
best
me.
thing for her to.
What'd you say?
I said, and that was probably the best thing for her,
Mm-hmm.
staying out of the drama.
Girl, she got her restaurant and was like, deuces, I'm out. Don't bother me. I won't bother you. I'll check in with y'all. Y'all good? Oh, okay. She ain't had no drama since she left. I mean like Newman drama. I know she had other relationship drama.
Yeah.
But she ain't had the type of stuff that them Newmans are going through.
Right.
But like I said, I don't think Adam is part of Claire's plot. She's coming after Nick, Nikki, Victor, and Victoria.
I noticed that too when she was looking at the photos that that Adam wasn't included in it. So it tells me that Adam is going to save the day. As much as Nikki was saying, "I'm going to put a stop to you, Adam," and Adam's got to save the day.
But
and
here's my thing. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
and I was going to say, like, this will be the quote unquote redemption for Adam in Victor, Nick, and Victoria's eyes. But if they save the mom, save the matriarch, that makes sense to me.
But they didn't have him do so many things that have saved other lives in that family, and it's like the gratitude lasts for
2 seconds.
and everybody is back to hating them again.
Listen,
so it's like, why did they keep doing this, but not allowing Adam to be redeemed, not allowing him to build relationships with his siblings, or a solid one with his dad, or even something that is at least civil with Nikki. So I don't want Adam to be the hero. I want them to just all have to deal with this on their own, and Adam mind his own business, because nothing ever works out for him in the end. He's still treated like crap.
girl, shoot, you gave them a little extra. You said 5 seconds. I said 2.
But it's a little different because this is Mama. This is Nick and Victoria's mom. Like, they feel how they feel about Victor. That's going to be a finicky relationship anyway. But Nikki, if Adam saves Nikki, I feel that would give some form of redemption. Some form, not all the way, but.
I mean, they gave Diana redemption when she saved Ashley's life. When the last time we seen them argue?
She saved her from a grape.
But still, she could have choked from that grape. That grape was going down the wrong pipe.
Ashley has been around. She choked on worse.
That was the weakest redemption story, or you can't even call it a storyline because it lasted an episode. I'm like, this is what y'all came up with for her? Saving her from a grape.
You silly kid. She said saving her for a grape. Yeah, I mean, technically that grape could have killed her, though.
They could have come up with something better.
She didn't had plenty of grapes. She didn't toss a lot of grapes back herself. A lot of wine, a lot of different things. And one grape, she would have been okay.
Oh my God. But you know what? Now that you say that, it's like, do we want Adam? See, my thing is, because it got me thinking, how long is that going to last? I mean, sometimes saving people's lives don't mean anything. It's just like, yeah, okay. Especially with Nicholas. I mean, I would think he would be grateful that Adam saved his daughter.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It don't matter. It doesn't matter who he saves. He's still going to be looked at as the most evil person on the face of the earth.
Valerie, you hit it on the head. Valerie Brown, you hit it on the head. If Adam saves Nikki, he's going to become CEO of Newman, guaranteed. If that's the direction they're going to go in, I support that, Valerie. You hit it on the head. The writers need to pay Valerie for that storyline because that's the arc they need to go in. Absolutely.
I don't mind.
Want that for him though.
Yeah, I don't mind Adam being CEO. Just be CEO of some other company.
Yeah, because it's going. How long is it going to last this time?
Exactly.
6 months,
exactly.
And there's going to be something that happens to where Victor is going to fire him again. I'm like, stop begging this man for acceptance and love and a job, and just go do it yourself.
We all on the same page, but it makes for an interesting storyline to put Adam in a CEO position and then having Victoria trying to undermine him, trying to
wait,
be
girl.
underneath him.
Did you see that comment by Belinda Hill?
Even if Adam saves Nikki, she will accuse Adam of being behind her kid. They could do
Yep.
that too.
Because that's what she does. She accuses Adam of everything wrong in her life, or her kids' lives, or her husband's life.
Oh gosh.
Writers, please listen to your tastemakers, your people who watch your show, please. Valerie, that if they put him in a CEO position, saves Nikki, gets her to rehab and all the other stuff, they have a close relationship. Hell, he might be CEO of Newman Media. Because what happens if he finds out what's going on with Nikki and says nothing about it, but swoops in to be CEO of Newman Media? That could happen too.
You know,
There's a lot of storylines the writers could really work with.
girl, listen, but you know what? Now that that strikes me, I mean, she could, because anything she could twist it and say, you probably were working with her. This is all your fault. Because remember, they blame everything on Adam.
Of course.
Oh, I hope
But
not.
we never seen him have any interactions with Claire anyway.
Girl, Nikki don't
It don't
care.
matter. It don't even matter.
You know what would be
You.
funny if Nate were to find out, since we know that she's had interaction with Nate and he's a medical doctor, he can I don't know. There's so much they can try to do, but I feel this is going to go on to February, to be honest with you.
Wow. Well,
I
we'll
think,
see.
yeah, we'll see.
I wanted to give y'all the heads up about that because it's getting real crazy tomorrow. And with that whole storyline, so y'all gotta check it out.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I am gonna shut it down. Thank you two for coming up because I had to talk about this whole thing
Of course.
with Zende and this Poppy and Bill thing. Cause I'm just glad to see we got a difference in the shift in the storylines to something interesting as well. I mean, Dope is the only thing that's really interesting right now. And all that other stuff. I mean, the Eric storyline, I tend to fast forward through. I just don't like
And
that type of heavy emotion. I just,
right.
I don't, I don't want to see somebody coughing up blood. And even though we know it's fake, it's just,
Mm-hmm.
I,
You ain't missing nothing. That storyline is terrible.
Ooh. Well, say how you really feel.
Right, say it with your chest, girl.
Y'all know I can't stand Eric anyway.
Yeah, so
Let's
Leave
move it
Eric
along.
alone. Leave Eric alone. I
girl,
love you some
listen,
Eric.
I just want to get through it. Now it looked like they're bringing some doctors on, Bridget Fan and the winner of the Big Brother, she's playing a doctor. So maybe they're going to rush together to put together a cure or something. I don't
They
know.
better not.
It's just mad,
Eric
Keish.
had better be dead at the end of this storyline. I'm
No,
sorry.
Keish.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
He got
Wow.
to go. It's time for him to go. It is.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Nothing against the actor. I can't stand that character. And this
Cool.
storyline was put together just so ridiculously. And it's just like it was a waste of a storyline. Or if they were gonna do it, then they should have built up better to it. And they didn't do any of that. They just pulled it out of thin air and suddenly Eric is dying and he's angry at Ridge and wants to do his own line and he's being a jerk to everybody and it's just I don't like it.
I agree with that. But who's gonna please Santa Claus? It's Christmas time. Let Eric be Santa Claus, and then he could
Girl,
go.
listen, if they're gonna play the, because that episode with the three doctors is supposed to air on December 20th. So what they're gonna make saving Eric a Christmas gift for the Forrester family? I don't know.
Lord.
I
I
would
don't know.
assume
We'll
so.
see. Hey, I mean, I'm just putting puzzle pieces together. I haven't seen, the only thing that I know is that the three of them are going to be working together. That episode is supposed to air around the 20th of December, which is right before Christmas. So,
So, so they're gonna put Bridget and Finn together.
Lord, working together. I don't think they're going to. I mean, they
Mm,
could throw something in there.
I smell a story. But maybe they might just Kim test him. But that would be very interesting. They're both doctors. It'll give Steffi a run for her money because we've never really seen Steffi go after the other sister. We just seen her go after Hope.
Mm. Well, that would be interesting, especially if, Liam decide that he want to lob a grenade into their relationship.
Or he
And,
can be with Bridget.
well, who? For
Liam can
fan?
be with Bridget.
Liam?
They
Liam
both.
need to sit by himself for a while.
That's her sister. She won't do that.
The family has done worse. Bridget and Brooke were playing a tag team between one man for years, and then Brooke managed to get a kid out of both of Bridget's husbands. So she is no stranger to sharing a man with her family members.
That is
Mm-mm.
true.
That is
That is
true.
true. I would only want that though if something like I need for if those kisses do end up coming out. What I would like to see is Finn like actually have a backbone with Stephanie and just be fed up with Liam, be fed up with having to deal with Liam and the fact that Steffi won't put boundaries on their relationship or whatever you want to call it, friendship, and that would be the perfect opportunity for him and Bridget to, I don't know, something happens between them, because ultimately I do think that if they do break up, Steffi and Finn, I think that they will end up getting back together because I think it'll be behind some type of scheming that Liam does, and you know that the scheming stuff doesn't like the relationship doesn't last long, but in that time that they're having their issues and that they're separated, maybe Finn could do something here and there with Bridget, and then that makes it difficult for them to like reunite because it wasn't just the scheme that Liam cooked up. Um, it's also that Finn has now like enjoyed himself with another woman.
Oh,
So because they
Well,
have
mhm.
at this point they haven't really been romantically like they haven't had any issues. It's all been Sheila that has been giving them issues.
and, and you make a very valid point because Bridget, more than anybody, would know how like Sheila's affected, the Forrester lives. But she's very sensitive, and she's going to be able to see the other side and kind of be an ear for Finn. She also gets his profession, and she'll also be able to work in close proximity. If they bring her on full time, they'll be working close proximity, and I can see that kind of creating a rift between Finn and Steffi. And I don't know. There's a lot of things they could do with that, though.
Yeah.
All I want is Liam and Finn to him up. I mean, Finn and Thomas to him Liam up in a dark corner somewhere.
Not the dark corner.
We'll, we'll,
I do
we'll
want it. So I don't want it to be Thomas because they'll automatically jump to the he hasn't changed. He's
Yeah,
still the
that's
same
true.
old person. I would prefer it to be Finn.
it's Pound Town over in the cabin. Thomas, I ain't even worried
Oh my God! No,
about.
you didn't. No, you
And I'd
didn't.
like to see.
He's not.
I like
That's the
Finn with
only
angry
Pound.
feelings.
Shut up, Bree.
uh,
Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, I'm going to end it here. I will have a good week. I'm still doing the recaps for tomorrow and Wednesday, and then I got to hit the road. And, hopefully the week of the 27th, with these new storylines, we'll have some new content to actually sink our teeth into with the Bill and Poppy thing, what RJ
yeah.
is planning on doing coming up, starting tomorrow. And then on the Young and the Restless side, this whole thing, I just got to say, and I know I can't, I got to end this, but all I got to say, Kyle is so stupid to listen to his
Oh
mama.
yeah, we know.
More than usual?
Well, the thing is,
Right.
listening to his mother. He's like, I need to tell Dad what's up. And she's like, oh no, don't tell him. Just go back over there into the lion's den and pretend like you know what you're doing, even though you don't. And of course, Tucker is expecting him to come right back over there. And then this is going to blow up in his face, and Jack is going to be pissed not only at his son, but at Diane too. But that's what she get.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Okay, 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 okay. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be ugly. So a lot of good stuff coming up. I'm glad.
Oh,
So,
don't forget the bridge episode.
oh girl, no, listen, I'm gonna
I
leave that one
forgot
for
it.
you. The bridge episode is on Wednesday of this week. I am no. Mm-mm.
This episode better be a replacement for them showing a wedding between them. Like we don't need this plus a bridge wedding.
True.
It's got to be one or the other. They got to pick.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. All right, ladies, we will chat later. Have a good holiday. Be safe. And I'll probably talk to y'all in the messaging areas. So,
Okay. You be safe as well on the road.
all right, I appreciate you. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.